I want to tell you something exciting happening in the Central Region right now. The Central Region Job Centers have joined forces with the Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development and Coursera to offer over 4,000 cutting-edge courses free to Missourians. Coursera, the world's learning platform, is providing Missourians with a transformative learning experience that empowers citizens to gain skills and help them with career development. Coursera can help you learn in-demand skills in subjects like technology and business that prepare you for today's job opportunities. Enjoy interactive learning experiences and be a part of Coursera's global learning community. Course videos, readings, and assignments are multi-language. Work at your own pace with Coursera's bite-sized sessions and self-paced learning model. You can download the Coursera mobile app to learn new skills anytime, anywhere, and earn university-accredited certifications from leading global institutions that can help boost your resume. The application process is pretty simple. You work with a Central Region Job Center team member who determines eligibility and begin enrollment. Once enrolled, Coursera will send you an email within 2 business days. Then you can register for free online courses and complete courses at your own pace. To learn more and apply today, visit cwdregion.com/Coursera. That's cwdregion.com/Coursera. Your achievements matter, and talking about numbers is also important because they help paint a picture of your achievements. But remember to do so without adding a bunch of words to your resume that aren't needed. Welcome to the Workforce Link podcast, where we're offering forward-thinking conversations for the workforce, linking employers and job seekers to a brighter tomorrow. I'm your host, Sunday Jo Graham, and I'm glad to be back with you for another episode today. So let's face it, our attention spans in today's world are much, much shorter than they were 10, 5, even a couple of years ago, right? We're consumed by short videos and posts on social media, and really, if it can't be said in the length it takes to write a tweet, nobody seems to want to hear it, right? This doesn't just apply to social media. Employers and hiring managers want to see shorter resumes too. And if it's more than 2 pages, they lose interest. But can you shorten your resume without it losing value? The answer is yes. And we're going to talk on the podcast today about how to shorten your resume without losing value. Before we dive into today's episode, though, I would just love to ask a quick favor of you. If you're enjoying this podcast, would you mind sharing with a friend or a coworker who would enjoy it as well? Maybe you have a friend who needs to take all that fluff out of his or her resume and needs a little boost of confidence to do so. Thank you so much in advance for sharing. Thank you so much in advance for listening. We truly do appreciate you. All right, now let's dive into today's episode on how to shorten your resume without losing value. You'd be surprised by how many things you can remove from your resume and still make it pop, still make it look good to the hiring manager. Now, we've talked previously on the podcast about the importance of planning keywords throughout your resume, both when you're referring to hard skills and soft skills. I will link to those previous episodes in the show notes if you want to go back and listen. And so, yes, it is true that less is more, but there's plenty of room for those keywords when you get the other non-necessary items off of your resume. And remember this as well when it comes to keywords. Too much can be a good thing. So we definitely don't want to make that our sole focus, right? So here are some things that you want to pay attention to when it comes to shortening your resume. Number 1, your length, the resume length. So like I said earlier, 2 to 3 pages is about the max that you want to, well, not about, it is the max you want to go on your resume. And honestly, if possible, I really, really encourage you to stick with 2. And if you have more than 10 to 15 years of work experience and you absolutely must make it 3 pages, go for it. But I would really, really, really try to condense that. And I would say really that that's not even necessary because I think most recruiters, they're not really interested in anything more than the last 10 to 15 years of your experience. So if you want to share that, what you've done beyond that, maybe fit that into just a small sentence or summary in your cover letter, or make it part of your experience summary. And also, if you need to explain it more, you can also do it when the time comes for you to be able to interview. Okay? So number 2, replace the career summary. And we actually talked a little bit about this in episode 28 of the podcast, how to overcome that job gap on your resume. So what you want to do is share a short summary of the problems you have and then the plan that you have for the company that you're applying for. Remember that yes, you are selling yourself, but you don't want to just make everything about yourself. You have to show the value that you're bringing to the table, okay? Number 3, Get rid of some bullet points, okay? So bullet points are great. We love them because they get straight to the point, pardon the pun, but too many can become overwhelming when you're reading that, right? So you want to try to limit bullet points to a maximum of 5 in each job role if possible. I would say don't do less than 3, but definitely don't do more than 5, okay? Because again, remember, our attention spans are short. Also, you want to keep your bullet points limited to no more than 2 lines of space if possible. If you can't explain it in less than that, then maybe you need to turn it into another bullet point, right? Remember, less is more, okay? Number 4, cut out unnecessary words. So you want to delete any words that are repeated and cut out those words that you don't need, okay? Read over your bullet points, read over them again, and cut out those words that you don't need. You'd be surprised what you find when you read over it again. All right, number 5, use action verbs. So you want to use words that have energy in them. Like when we say action verbs, I mean, they're all action in some way or another, but you want to use those words that have energy in them. Okay. So for example, maybe you led the top sales for 3 months in a row. Well, that's great. But wouldn't it be more exciting to say that you strategize new ways to offer excellent customer service to your clients, resulting in 3 consecutive months of top sales performance? See how that stands out more? Do you want hands-on experience as you decide what career you want to pursue? Through on-the-job training, work experiences, and apprenticeships, Central Missouri Job Center staff are ready to help set you up for success today. Learn more about our on-the-job training program, an excellent opportunity to get hands-on experience from an employer while earning a paycheck. It's a win-win for everyone. Employers get the workforce they need, and you get the experience you need. Or there's our work experience program available to job seekers ages 14 to 24 who have little or no past work experience. This provides the opportunity to meet with prospective employees while also taking advantage of critical workplace training. Gaining work experience gives you the needed work background to secure future jobs. And don't forget about our registered apprenticeship opportunities, which is an alternative earn while you learn combination of training and employment. Apprentice workers gradually earn more as they reach higher levels of productivity. In addition to rewarding performance, a registered apprenticeship combines employer-driven, job-related instruction with extensive on-the-job learning under the supervision of a trade professional. After completing a registered apprenticeship, the apprentice receives a nationally recognized occupational credential that communicates the standards and high level of training that their employer provides. To learn more about our work-based learning programs, visit cwdregion.com/learning. That's cwdregion.com/learning. Number 6, remember that numbers talk. So we just talked about using action verbs, and now we can take it one step further by implementing numbers into our achievements. So let's not just tell the hiring manager that we had the top sales for 3 months. Let's tell them how much revenue we brought in for the company. Number 7, check your format. So most updated Microsoft Word formats are a great starting point, but make sure that you have specific formatting styles to get the hiring manager's attention. You want to use a clean between 11 and 18 point font. And my favorite personally is Calibri. I love it. But Arial, that's a good one too. And you don't want to change your margins, okay? Don't change your margins in order to fit more on a page because this makes it harder to read. And if somebody has to work harder to read your resume, guess what? They're probably not going to do it, okay? You want to put your employer name and your title on one line. And if you've held more than one position with the company, you can use separate lines if you want, that's okay. Or you can consider separating the titles with spacers and keeping them on the same line. Just make sure your formatting stays the same throughout, okay? Number 8, focus on the results. So your achievement matters, right? We've talked about that earlier, and we also talked about numbers being important because what they do is help us paint a picture of our achievements. But we need to remember to do so without adding a bunch of words that aren't needed, right? That's the whole goal of this. We're getting rid of words that aren't needed. So here's an example. Managed multi-million-dollar fast food restaurant, increasing productivity and customer service, and reducing employee departure and operating costs by working with staff to create a healthy and fun working environment. So here we have 2 lines of one bullet point, right? And we want to 3 lines. We have 3 lines and we want to shorten it to 2 lines. So what if we were to shorten it to something like this? worked closely with staff to create a fun and healthy work environment, resulting in a 40% retention rate, reducing operating costs by 35%, and strengthening customer satisfaction 60%. So you gave proof there, right? And proof is in the pudding, right? You were very specific with your actions and very specific with the results that came from those actions. Number 9, get rid of the extra words one more time. Most important one. Get rid of the extra words one more time. So what you want to do is go back through your resume. You've done all of these steps, right? Awesome. You want to go back through your resume with a fine-tooth comb and check again what words you need to cut out. What fat do you need to cut from this? And then ask somebody else to look it over for you. Sometimes we can't see things that others can see because we're too attached to it. So send it to a couple people that you think would be good to give you their opinion and maybe, tell them, hey, do you see extra words in here that I need to cut out? Do you see bullet points that don't really need to be in here? Do you see something that I can rephrase? Don't be afraid to ask for help in that, okay? So let's do a quick recap of what we covered today on how to shorten your resume without losing value. Number 1, you want to shorten your resume to 2 pages, 3 at the most, and that's only if it's absolutely necessary. Number 2, replace your career summary with something that sells both you and what you can offer the company. Number 3, condense your bullet points. Number 4, cut out unnecessary words. Number 5, use action verbs. Number 6, use numbers. Number 7, check your formatting. Number 8, focus on the results. And number 9, rinse and repeat. Go over it again and again, okay? And remember to keep the skills on your resume relevant to the job that you're applying for. So you might be applying for a job that needs different skills than you may have on this resume, right? That's great. Reformat your resume to fit that, okay? And remember that less is better. So hopefully this will help you shorten your resume without losing value. And if you need some assistance with your resume, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our career consultants at any of our Central Region Job Centers. And you can find them at cwdregion.com/job centers. That's cwdregion.com/job centers. Have a great week, my friend. That's it for us, and we will meet again in the next episode. Until then, remember this: there's always a brighter tomorrow if you're willing to find it. The Central Region Workforce Development Board Incorporated and COPIC are equal opportunity employers and programs. Auxiliary aids and services are available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Missouri Relay Services at 711.